Yeah, and welcome once again to our... Whose house is this? Friend?
I have no idea. No, we just busted in. No, it's a buddy of mine's house here in Nashville, and it's a great place.
I have a little bit of basement envy right now.
Like, it's huge, right?
Yeah, right? It's like, I'm like, dude, your basement's the size of my freaking house, bro. Okay, so anyways, we hinted at doing some intervals yesterday, and I know for some people that can be scary, and it's like, where do you even begin? Okay. So before we begin, by the way, click Robbie's links down below. I'm going to leave them down below. Make sure you check them out. But anyways, now back to our scheduled programming. Are there patterns that you kind of have adopted that will help somebody start down this path?
Absolutely. So intervallic lines, guys, so wider interval skips than scale runs,
yeah.
You know, the typical scale run stuff. So string skipping, it's also referred to as string skipping.
Yeah.
And it's going to give you a wider, more interesting sound, right? So you're opening up the melodic palette, if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there are typical moves that I do within the minor pentatonic box that we all know, right? So I'll just... Okay, so if I just show you on the fretboard, we all know this.
Let me ask you one question. Are you pick or pick and pluck?
Well, I'm going to do both.
Okay.
All right,
check you out.
Check
Mr.
it out.
Diversity.
Well, there's eases to some things, right? But you don't get the same sound.
Okay.
So obviously reference our scale, pentatonic box of B minor. Okay. Now, to open up the width of those intervals, if we're just playing linear lines like this, that isn't very wide.
Right.
So what I do is I skip to the next string. I miss a string, and I'll do something like this.
Which doesn't even sound like the pentatonic scale anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Because when I do this, people, like, it blows their mind.
Yeah.
And it just sounds totally different.
Yeah.
And the pentatonic, as much as it's been used and maybe overused, it's only been overused because we're playing the same licks.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you start opening that up, you're getting obviously a different sound.
Okay.
Now, the other thing with that is this pentatonic box, as we were discussing with the major scale, there are 3 minor pentatonics which link with each of the minor chords within a scale. So if we're in the key of A, we've got B minor pentatonic, C sharp minor pentatonic, and F sharp minor pentatonic.
Okay.
So if you learn an intervallic lick in one of those patterns, you've actually got 3.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Here's the other thing. So guys, here would be a quick way to do this, or say a quick way. I would start super simple on the upper strings because it tends to be an easier finger move than that.
Yep.
Okay, so if I'm doing that, I would start here and say, okay, try this.
Okay.
And just maybe get used to it, reverse it.
Now, do you pay attention to, if you're doing that, do you alternate pick?
Yeah, so if you're doing a downstroke here, upstroke, and remember we talked about downbeats should be downstrokes, upbeats should be upstrokes, and it keeps you referenced where you are in the track and in the subdivisions.
Yeah.
And I would say if you can reference where the subdivisions are, your picking will coordinate with the left hand.
Okay, got it.
Otherwise it can go off.
Yeah, off the rails real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so that would be a simple approach. And obviously then if you go through the string pairs like that, so...
Which automatically just sounds cool. I mean, like,
sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to get different resolution points, and what you'll start to hear is when you're using this, you'll hear where those great resolutions are, or those double stops, because they're basically double stops, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we've got double stops, sixths, and stuff like that. So you don't have to play it in like a linear fashion.
Yeah.
You could bounce around a little bit if you wanted to. I mean, you know, if you did this.
Do that again. That was real sweet. Okay.
And if you want to.
Yeah,
then
right.
You've got the pedal tone stuff too, right?
Yeah. Almost that kind of clips it over kind of thing going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the string skipping plus, you know, some of that stuff. And the more you do it, you probably notice there I went to pick my thumb and fingers. This way, I'm not actually having to facilitate that large skip.
Yeah.
So it sounds really clean when you play like this, but it's a lot harder, especially when you're playing fast.
Yeah.
This is so much easier because I can...
One, it's snappier too.
It's a little snappier, a bit more percussive.
Yeah.
And I like it if it's a little...
Oh, right, a little muted. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a great guitar part.
Yeah.
You know, overdub.
Sneak in there. Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, if you were to...
And obviously you do this with the full major scale at some point too, yeah?
Yeah, so let me show you a major scale pattern that I would pull ideas out of and how I get the ideas. So,
Okay. Okay.
Right, so a lot of guys will probably know that 3 notes per string. So I start where I'm looking at things like this.
Wow, right. Oh, yeah.
And then you do that.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, do that really slowly. Do that one pattern one more time.
Okay.
So show them what the initial scale shape was.
Okay, so here's the scale shape, guys. Or if we do it here.
Yep.
Okay, or, you know, moving up.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm looking for where the intervals of the scale fall as a string skip.
Okay.
And there, obviously, I could do that as well, couldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I can see the note there. So I'm looking for little patterns that give me these really nice lines. And when you actually approach it like this, where you've got a similar interval skip, it sounds really melodic because you can hear the scale to a degree, but it's opened up wider.
Yeah.
And it's like doing things like this too.
Right.
Doesn't even sound like a major scale.
Yeah.
And it's all fifths, right? So you get that diminished in there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It just opens up the sound immensely.
Yeah.
So what I would say to guys is pick one pattern, don't get too crazy too quick. And pentatonic is a great place to start.
Okay.
And, you know, work out some lines. It doesn't even have to be what I'm doing. It could be, you could even reverse it.
So before you get back to the track you're playing to, is that available, first of all?
It isn't, because I actually just did a loop. I know, but what we can do is we can make it available.
Okay.
So when I get home to, you know, my studio, I'll record it and perhaps we can make that available to you guys. But guys, really, the track that I'm going to play over, it's the major scale of A, and it's the harmonized major scale of A. But what I'm doing is I'm resolving to that F sharp minor chord, so the 6th chord, which makes it Aeolian.
Okay.
All right, so we talked about the modal thing a little bit. So all you're doing is you're thinking in terms of resolution towards the 6th chord.
Yeah.
Not the 1 chord from the key.
Okay, so can you play without playing the whole track? Can you show what the progression is of the track?
Okay, so F sharp minor. All right, let me turn this down a tiny bit. So, right, so that's an A with a C sharp bass to a D, 5-2, and it's got the sharp 11 in there too, so it sounds really nice.
What are those chords again? Not the $50 chords.
They are $50 chords, out of town chords as they call them. Yeah. F sharp minor 7. A with C sharp bass to D, 5-2.
Which is interesting.
Sharp 11.
It's those intervals, but played all together that you were just talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Then to A.
Okay.
B, pulling off to the A with the B bass.
Okay.
To an E with a G sharp.
Okay.
And then. So, you know, it's got kind of an R&B feel to it as well.
Totally. Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So why don't we do the track, and you can do the first pass and do just typical double stop R&B.
Yeah.
And then the next pass through, start peppering in some
doing
of that.
some stuff.
Piece of awesome.
All right, so here we go. back to Earth.
Okay, so what if you did that same kind of philosophy, keep the track on, and just did the interval thing, but not so much at one time, like so they can just kind of wrap it. Yeah, like if they're just starting out.
Okay. I mean, that's a really sweet one. Why? Because it's got the F sharp right there.
Right,
okay?
right. That, and I liked both, but as far as something that's instantly applicable, that would dramatically shift your phrasing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Just that little bit made a huge difference because it took you from R&B to like a different sound, but it was still super melodic at the same time.
You know what I was feeling with it too, that it has emotional content, and I've been saying this to guys for a long time. We talked about it. What do you feel when you hear that music? What do you feel when you play some music? And what I'm seeing with a lot of guys, they're just playing notes.
Yeah.
And I say, how did it make you feel?
Yeah.
When I was playing that and heard those tones, I'm like, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
Just
happy.
Right. But to me, I'm a very sensitive person, so things make. Okay. I don't know. We're going to do counselling after this, right?
I got some tissue over there.
Yeah. No, but music should make you feel something.
It should, yeah.
Whether that's anger, happiness, whatever it is. So get back to that. This is a great way of pulling out tones that you may not have heard before melodically, and you go, oh my God, my world just...
But it's the same scale you've been using a billion times before.
Right, or even the double stops. You saw that, and I'm just doing, single note parts of it. And I do that quite a bit when I'm even thinking R&B double stops. So I do things like this, for example. So, it's a typical double stop thing, but I break it like this.
Yeah, dramatically changes the effect.
Totally changes it. And I just love that sound. And I think you can overuse it.
Yeah.
So for me, it would be, I would play, let me play this set. I'll just play an opening kind of thing.
Okay.
Where it's melody and then we do that. So.
Bail out of that in a familiar way too. Like you can do that thing and then bail out, and it's something like our double stop or something like that. That's totally like brings you right back.
It really does. And for me, we talked about the acoustic gigs and stuff. And for me, playing on an acoustic guitar and trying to play crazy lines and bends, it's not happening. So I really developed my double stop sensibilities.
Yeah.
Simple single note melodies.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is the audience appreciates the fact that you've referenced the melody, familiarity, then take them on a little journey and then bring them back.
You have to.
Right?
Yeah.
Not go on a juxtaposition to the music you were just playing just because you got chops.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No.
In my opinion, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work for anybody. I mean, like even being a guitar player, I will go to a concert and leave after like 3. If it's not, you know what I mean? Like if once I've seen somebody's chops, it's like, that's awesome. And you're technically, wow, you're amazing. But like, if there's nothing else going on other than the chops and there's that same constant barrage of stuff happening, it gets old. I mean, that's why I really love the Journeys and the Van Halens and, the hard rock guys that can really play like faithfully. It's a beautiful, totally, like, that line is iconic.
It's iconic.
You know what I mean? And it's so simple. And he does a little flash in some parts of it, or Stone in Love, or, just to use Neil Sean as an example. But there's always an iconic melody that he comes back to.
Motifs. We talked about motifs.
Totally.
And
it makes it so much more interesting.
It really is, because we know the guy's got chops.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to show us all the time.
Yeah.
And I think when you show restraint, that shows you're a musician, not just a guitar player. And I say to guitar players all the time, I know you have chops and stuff, but dial it back, and then it's more impressive when you just let loose.
For sure.
And there's a time when you should be like going for it.
Reckless abandon.
Reckless abandon, yeah. And the guitar behind the head doesn't hurt, So I'm all about that too. But to me, it's about the taste first. And for me, I don't have masses of facility because I've got some tendon issues. Mm-hmm. So someone said to me, it was Tony Campanovo said this to me.
What'd you call me?
Right? What do you call me? Yeah. Tony's amazing fusion guitar player.
Yeah.
And he works with Line 6, and I'm doing the Yamaha thing. And he came up to me after one of my demos, and he said, dude, I just love the note choices and everything else. And he said, how did you develop that technique? And I said, I have tendon issues.
Yeah.
I play what I can.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, so you developed a style out of the the lack of facility. And I said, yeah, what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, well, that was actually pretty cool that not that I did that,
right,
but I embraced it and didn't say, why, I'm never going to be a great guitar player.
Right.
I said, like
you
Django
found your voice through
Reinhardt.
adversity.
Absolutely, and I think you can. And anyone that says, well, I've got problems, I would say to work through them.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, should I be working on my weaknesses? And I say, no, take your strengths and amplify them.
Yeah, right.
Forget the weaknesses.
Yeah.
Work on the things you're good at. So that's what I try to do. I find melodies and...
It's interesting you say that about the tendon issues, because one of my favorite guitar players, and he's still got chops, but his name's Ian Moore. He's a great, he was like an Austin guy or whatever. Same thing though, cut his hand on a piece of glass when he was a kid, so he can only play like a certain speed, like he maxes out, but it's like he's developed such good phrasing because of that. Or David Gilmour, like they were asking about Eddie Van Halen. He's like, God, I wish I could play like that, but I just can't, you know what I mean? And it's just, but I mean, listen to what he's created out of that,
Absolutely.
So I think it's, and even with stuff like this, I know there's going to be a percentage of the people that see the Intervallic thing and are like, how fast can I do this? And it's like, how about how musical can you make that?
Yeah. Well, actually, before you came today, I was like, I found this line that I really liked just purely by working on something to have, and it was like... And it's kind of classical.
It is, and you can hear the chord progression underneath it, you know what I mean? Which is everything, right? Like, I know exactly what was happening there. I could hear it,
You could hear it. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, if I could stress, and I'm sure you would probably agree, work on phrasing so that the person, if you're playing single notes, they can tell what the chord progression would be behind your phrasing, because then you're paying attention to a musical idea.
Absolutely. And, going back to things like arpeggios and chord tones, I really studied that for myself because I saw the value. If you're playing chord tones all the time, you never hit a wrong note. Yeah. Unless, of course, you make a little mistake like that. And that's okay. Mistakes are fine too.
Yeah.
But, you can outline all of the chords, but sometimes that gets a bit too heavy duty.
Yeah.
And what you need to do is hold a note and let the chords do that work for you.
Yeah.
For example, I could let the chords roll, right? And maybe just hold something and see how it affects.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. So I'm just going to play a C sharp.
Okay.
It's a nice place to start. It's not complex, but I'm listening.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, there's a melody there somewhere, but I don't have to give it away immediately.
Well, and I think eventually by doing that, the C sharp was a perfect example, you'll start to hear different places to go. If you keep coming in with that line, you'll start to hear those higher places or lower places that you can go. Well, I know you got to get rolling, so thank you. We got, so make sure that you check out, I'll put him in the description box below too, but he's done 3 awesome videos, so make sure you check out the other 2. He's got a site. You have courses. You sell jam tracks too, is that?
Absolutely, and sounds for Helix. So
what?
Yeah.
You're a freaking one-stop shop.
I call them tones and tracks. So they're in marketplace on line6.com.
Okay.
Or at my website, and there's rock, blues, R&B, and everything. And so tones and tracks, you get 10 Helix tones, and they're all premium sounds. They work immediately.
Yeah.
And you get 5 really great studio quality jam tracks for $20.
Yeah.
And they're selling well because it's a great place. If you're not good at programming, you load my sound in and you go, oh, that's how you get a good tone.
Right, that works.
That works. And then you make it yours from there.
Sure, yeah,
and
exactly.
I think it's a great way of doing things. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. I've got a signature pedal, Robbie Calvo, signature.
Come on,
driver.
dude.
Yeah.
He was telling me all the other stuff he's done in his life too. I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, I know, but overachiever.
Yeah.
But I think, for me, life is short. Get out there, enjoy it.
Heck yeah.
And
go for it.
And if you have a passion for something, don't be lazy about things. If you want to be a great guitar player, time and effort has to be put in.
Yeah.
I spent so much time, went to music school.
Yeah. And if you're wanting a spot, if you're out there wasting time, somebody's not, and that person's going to get the gig.
Yeah, tenacity wins.
Yeah.
And, if I've got guys that say, well, they didn't get back to me. And I go, well, then contact them again.
Yeah, call them again, exactly.
They're either seeing if you're that interested, so they ignored you the first time, or they're just really busy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't give up until I get a no.
Right.
I'll give an example. I got a wonderful endorsement with Taylor Guitars years and years ago. And Tim Godwin and I finally spoke on the phone. And I said to him, well, 8 emails, and then finally we get to chat and stuff. He said, I really wanted to work with you, but I was super busy. And I said, well, I didn't hear no, so I kept going.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
Yeah.
And I'd say the same thing about the instrument. It might not come immediately to you.
Yeah, it did not for me.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And to maintain, it's hard work.
Yeah.
So you got to be consistent. You got to practice. And even if it's 5 minutes a day, but also have a target in mind. Deadlines are great for me.
Yeah.
And also, if I say, all right, in a year's time, I want to be playing out in a great blues band, in Detroit, for example, right? Well, then you got to get your work done.
Yeah.
And you got to get out there and do it. And
then you got to show up.
You got to show up, and you've got to get the band together and all the stuff. And what that does is it makes you write chord charts and learn songs.
Yep.
And when you've got a target in mind, you can actually practice to it.
Yeah.
If you are just floundering, what are you working towards?
Dust in the wind, baby.
It's dust in it. It is. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
So I always say deadlines have a purpose.
Yep.
And the guys I work with at workshops and stuff, I say to them, what do you want to do? And they go, I want to go out and play a solo gig. All right, pick 20 songs.
Yeah.
Take 6 of them, learn them this week.
Yeah.
Or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And start playing those and then learn another 6.
Yeah.
And then get your gear together and start looking at venues.
Yep.
Book a gig.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing like feet to the fire.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of work to be done, but there's enjoyment in it. So I think if you find enjoyment and you're doing what you really love on the instrument, it's not really that much hard work.
Well, right. And I'll end it by saying this, that, if we're not technically progressing as fast as we wish, but you're still accomplishing something and moving forward, sometimes it's enough to keep going and keep that, without letting the frustration doesn't win at that point. You're still moving forward. And then I find that if you keep doing that, then a big shift eventually comes.
You hit plateaus, and then you have to find a way to find your way off the plateau to the next one.
Yeah.
And they can come just vicariously through something simple or a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
I always say, it's delivered from above kind of thing. Learn theory. It's nothing better than actually delving deep into this and going, what am I actually doing?
Yeah.
It's a D and a B note. Okay, that's a major.
Is this a sign right now that I'm supposed to learn theory?
I want you to understand that was a major 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but so don't be lazy. Get in there and work.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much.
My pleasure.
Good luck in
always.
paradise again.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so make sure you subscribe, click the bell, check out Robbie's stuff. I'm going to leave all the stuff in the description box below the video. There's a little thing that you can click and it'll open up a little box, and then I'll leave all the links down there. Thanks so much for checking it out. I'll catch you next time.